welcome everyone to Shaking Up the Algorithm. So glad you can be back on another week with us. I am Miss J, of course, and I am super excited about tonight's show. I have an awesome special guest on tonight whom I've known for a very long time, and to see her just grow and blossom into who she is today is amazing. I can actually say that I knew her when. So I'm excited about that. Also, I have another guest on that is a regular. You could say she's like family. She's getting cute in the back right now. But we are going to bring both of them on tonight. And first up, let me introduce my special guest, Miss Melanie Wade. Come on up. Hi, Melanie.
Hey, Miss J, how you doing? How's everybody doing?
Wonderful. Let me bring up my other guest, my girl Cece. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Cece.
Welcome, ladies. So looks like it's gonna be a girls' night. Love it.
That's
Love
good.
it.
That's good.
Love it. So, for those of you who don't know, tonight's show is entitled Manifesting God's Way, right? And what we basically want to do is kind of pick Melanie's brain a little bit and find out what it is that we're basically not doing. What is it that the average human being is not doing in order to create heaven on earth? Because that's really what it is. You don't have to wait to get it. You can have it now. So she has exemplified and applied these tools to her life so that she now lives an abundant life. And I mean abundant, y'all. I mean abundant, y'all. Okay? So my thing is, I want to get in on that. I want to know. You know what I mean? What is it that I'm not doing in order to really manifest what it is that I desire to have and to have that unspeakable joy that we all want? You know what I mean? So, Melanie, I'm going to give you a moment just to kind of introduce yourself.
Okay, sure.
You can give as much or as little information as you like.
Okay.
And this is your first time. I'm going to, give you that opportunity. So I'm going to give you the floor.
Okay, sure, no problem. But how's everybody doing tonight? I'm super excited to be on the show. Hey, Miss Cece, I'm excited to be on the show tonight with you ladies. My name is Melanie, everybody. Currently living in Richmond, Virginia, 41 years old, to a beautiful, almost 10-year-old daughter. And I am a breakthrough coach. And you know what, Miss J, here's the thing. Now, when I first started my journey in this whole manifestation thing, I was calling myself manifestation coach, but I changed it to breakthrough coach because I realized it was a breakthrough that I was having within myself that allowed me to attract all the things that I had attracted. And I'm going to tell you kind of like how I started in that journey, but I am a breakthrough coach and a motivational speaker. And so my journey started really about 5 years ago. If I can just tell a little bit about that. Is that okay for me to tell a little bit about how I got started? Okay, sure. So 5 years ago, I had really hit rock bottom. Now, when I tell you I hit rock bottom, I am a PK. So my dad's a pastor. I grew up in church all my life. My mom, the first lady, I'm the oldest of 10. So we was, in church, praise and worship, prayer team, serving, leading, doing all of the things. Okay. But I still found myself at a very, very extremely low point, even though I was in ministry, serving in ministry, because, well, for one thing, I was in a relationship that God did not ordain, okay? And then first and foremost, okay? And that thing dragged me. So, I'm in this relationship that God did not ordain. My money is tricky and funny. I don't have nothing. Behind on all bills, lights getting cut off, almost being evicted. Just really at a low point. And then the thing about it is, I had to cancel my wedding 30 days before I was about to get married due to something that broke out, but really was God getting my attention to saying, and I knew, I got to get in this thing now, And so it just like mentally just broken, spirit just broken, emotionally just broken.
Bankrupt.
I remember that during this time, my church was about to go on this 21-day fast. And I had got to the point where I was saying, God, because I'm a good person, was a good person, praying,
Mm-hmm.
love God, prayer warrior, all the things. And I was just saying, God, I surrender even all the more. I'm going on this 21-day fast. And I said, and I promise you, when I get off this 21-day fast, I want you to do a new thing within me and a new thing in my life. Right. So we gearing up for this 21 days. I mean, the whole church, the theme was like, we all had on army fatigue. So it started on a Sunday morning at church. So it was like we was in war. We was like, we fighting, we taking back everything that was stolen, So I'm gearing up and I'm just so just ready to just be in a better spot, be a better person all around the board. So we get to church that Sunday, and it was a prophet that came up to me at church, and he said, now I don't know what's going on, Melanie, but God told me to tell you at the end of this 21 days, you're never going to be the same.
Ooh.
Wow.
And it resonated with me because, see, I had already set the intention, and my intention was 4 words that I stood on. You know how you stand on the word? I stood on these 4 words, and I let these 4 words permeate every part of my being. And that was, I am a champion. That's what I did. So my 21-day fast, not only was I, of course, we had scriptures and stuff we were standing on and things like that, and I did my scriptures and things, but I didn't do it the regular way. I said, now, if I'm saying I'm a champion, if I set my intention, now let me tell you what an intention is, my definition. An intention, because, you hear people say, set your intention, say your affirmations. You hear people say that.
Right.
Setting an intention is when you set the guiding principle and let this guiding principle guide how you show up in life. So that was my guiding principle, because sometimes we so in, I got to get to this end goal, I got to get this end goal. But see, sometimes it's not about the end goal. Sometimes it's about who you become in pursuit of that goal, because who you become in that process is gold. Sometimes it's worth more than the end goal itself, who you have became during that process. So that's what an intention is. That's your guiding principle in pursuit of that thing that you are trying to achieve. So I let what I did was, I am a champion. I aligned every thought. I was so intentional. Every habit, every action, my going to bed, my waking up. I let that thing, I took those words and I embodied. I am a champion in every single thing, even down to how I made up my bed, even down to how I was eating. If I'm saying I am a champion, I'm going to let my actions match exactly.
Yeah.
And that was my fast, right? And so what was happening on this fast is, now I'm having a breakthrough in who I have been being all the time. I am having a breakthrough within my identity. And I'm having a breakthrough in who I am now becoming. And that's the key to it right there. That's the key to it all. And I had to ask myself, who have you been being? Yeah, you love God. You've been serving. But who have you been being? Have you been embodying what you say you want, what you've been praying for, what you've been fasting for? So that was my whole 21-day journey. And so we went through the whole 21 days. And so we got to the end of the fast. So I was saying, now I'm trying to see if I feel different. This is what I'm saying to myself. I'm saying, now did I get a breakthrough? Now, do I feel different? I'm trying to see. So 21 days came, 22 days came, 23 days came, but on that 24th day. So let's go back. Mind you, I had to cancel my wedding 30 days prior because it was like a love triangle type of thing, you know?
Mm.
So on the 24th day, I had, let me see, I'm gonna say this. I had ran into the third party. Okay. And so, you know, when you've been hurting and in a place of brokenness and sometimes have resentment towards other people and other things, when you are confronted with that thing, something try to rise up on the inside of you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, something try to rise up. And so I was confronted with that thing on the 24th day. And I felt something rising in me. But then I heard the Spirit of God speak to me and say, you either repeat or evolve.
Mm.
Mm.
Ooh, that's good.
I like that. Yeah.
I heard that so loud in my spirit.
That's good.
And because I'm already sensitive to the voice of God because I've been on this fast. You know what I'm saying? So everything, I'm just tuned in, tapped in, turned on, I'm just tuned in. And so when I heard that word, I said, I'm gonna evolve. I'm gonna evolve today. And so I chose to evolve. I went out there and I handled the situation just like how I believe God would handle it, with His grace, love, compassion, kindness.
Yes.
Because the scripture says, "With love and kindness have I drawn thee." That's what the scripture says. So that's how I handle it. And when I handled it like that, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, I immediately felt like it was bricks being released from my shoulders, from my back. I felt the weight come off of me, and I knew I had been liberated. And from that moment on, from that 21 days of me having that shift in my identity and having that breakthrough within myself, that has been the start of this entire journey. That was the start of it all. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I love that. I love it.
Repeat or evolve. I'm gonna write that down because that that one line, I mean, so many of us, we run into situations and we'll say, oh, well, you know, I'm healed from that. I did this and I did that. But when you confronted with that thing,
oh, that's the choice.
Is going to be the true test as to whether or not you've been healed.
Yes, yes.
You know, so for you to even be in that type of situation, and it's not just with that type of situation, it can be with anything.
With anything.
You know, anything that you've been challenging or that you've been struggling with. So to be confronted with that and to take that reaction or have that reaction to it at that moment, it's like, man, everything that you had done up until that point, basically, as you said, liberated you. It was a freedom.
Yes.
You know, that you now had because you're no longer bound to whatever the old you was. You know, you already emerged into the new you. So that right there, I'm telling you, that hit me.
I know. I love that too. I love that too, Miss J. That is good. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna use that. I'm using
it.
Yeah.
I am using that. But okay, so after knowing or after feeling at that moment the freedom and liberation and the release, right? It still had to be steps in which you had to take in order to rebuild. You know what I mean? Because if you've already come from a broken place, things look bleak or even destitute for some, you know. How do you now rebuild? How do you take the bricks that have fallen and one by one help to build what it is that you're trying to attain?
So first you have to get clear on what it is that you're trying to build. You got to get clear on what that one is, clear on what that desire is. That's the first and foremost. And after you get clear on that thing, you have to day by day, again, guys, it's always about the transformation and who you are being first and foremost.
Correct.
Because a lot of the times people can be praying for things and praying to God and saying, I'm believing, standing on faith, I'm trusting in God. But people don't have what they've been praying for because they're not the type of person that gets to have that thing just yet. So rebuilding for me kept looking like me, keep being steady, anchored, and rooted in who I need to become. That's matching whatever that intention is, whatever that desire is, whatever that prayer is. That's how I started the rebuilding process. Keeping steady, because sometimes, you know, we be saying, well, I feel better. But sometimes you feel better, but you're not truly healed. You just feel better.
Correct.
You just feel better. And so people would give up. It's like, okay, well, I did this for 21 days. I'm good now, you know. But no, when things have been rooted in you for years upon years, you got to stick that thing through. You have to stay the course. You got to stay in the race and keep showing up every single day in the person you desire to become, to truly reshape the entire identity. To be honest, see, 21 days just forms a habit. So now it's a habit,
right?
But it takes continuously evolving for you to really, really have that breakthrough in who you have been being, where you are no longer attracting the same old things. You are attracting brand new experiences because I'm just attracting off of who I'm being in the first place anyway. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So yeah.
That's true.
So it's really like you have to stay the course. Once you get clear on whatever that desire is, keep tunnel vision and remain focused on the habits, the thoughts, the behaviors, all of that. All of those things play a huge role in the rebuilding process, especially our thoughts. The things that we think plays a huge role. Because when it comes down to even a subconscious level, first you got to have the awareness that sometimes you're thinking not right. You got to.
That's true.
You got to have the awareness that you're thinking is not right. You know, and sometimes you got to pause in this thought. That thought is not in alignment with this thing that I'm calling in. That thought does not serve me. That thought does not speak to what God says about me. So let me take a breather. Let me take a pause. And let me shift this thought right now, because see, right now I've fallen asleep to who I really am. So now I got to wake myself back up. And I wake myself back up by transcending those thoughts. And you do it as a process you have to do over and over and over and over again until it's embedded in your subconscious.
Yeah. So it's almost like just basically having a repetitive or, you know, creating repetition in your life.
The breakthrough is always in the repetition of a thing, every single time. Because like I said, people like to throw in the towel. I'm good now.
Yeah.
But see, you got to be healed on a subconscious level. And the only way to be healed on a subconscious level is repetitively doing the opposite of what you've already been doing.
Right.
Because when we think about subconscious, okay, we only operate from 5% programming every single day. The other 95% is subconscious programming every single day. So we're only operating from 5% of our consciousness. So if we are thinking thoughts on autopilot that doesn't serve us, that doesn't speak to who we desire to become, what we desire to have, what's happening is our subconscious in the background is continuously scanning in our external world for all of the evidence to continue to validate and support what we're really thinking on a subconscious level anyway. So that's how people, they find themselves in these repetitive cycles, because it's like they're operating from programming instead of true consciousness.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Yeah.
And represent some of my sponsors this week. So
okay.
Tantalizing Talks, the podcast. Hosted by the love coach, Tosh Johnson. Our focus is on your communication, love language, self-discovery, self-care, sensuality, and sexuality. Helping helping you to find yourself while embracing change. Sit back and be enlightened by the Love Coach here on Tantalizing Talks, the podcast. Does your business need more visibility? Need more affordable marketing platforms? Don't let your foundation crumble. Advertise with us, shaking up the algorithms, where we shift your marketing one show at a time. We have package prices starting as low as $25. Contact us for more details via email, twinforceproductions@gmail.com.
All right. Quick commercial break. So, Miss Cece, let me get your input on what has already been said, or what is it too that you want to add to this conversation?
I totally agree with everything that you say, Melody, about it. I just feel like a lot of it's really second nature when it comes to changing your mindset. When you really decide, like you did with the 21-day fast, when you really decide that you are going to change the thinking of what you grew up with and how you're going to proceed through this life, because life is always going to continue to life, right? So we have to figure out, how are we going to get through it? Do we want to get through it with always doing the same old thing that's not going to bring us results? Or are we going to do what you did? Are we just going to evolve? I have never been the type. Let me tell you, I had a bad experience growing up in high school, right, with a boyfriend. Parents don't really teach you about loss. They don't really teach you about having boyfriends and girlfriends and loving. So I started dating this guy, and he was cheating on me. And, loyalty to me back then, I really didn't know the true meaning of loyalty and respecting yourself and respecting each other on this level. But he broke my heart into pieces, just broke me, where I never thought I was going to get through it, right? And I told God, I started college, and I told God, I said, God, if you would just let me get through this heartbreak, I would never, ever love another man the way I should be loving you. I'm never going to give no one that kind of reverence. You know what I mean? So once I got through that transformation, I was on fire from then up until today. Now, there's times where I get setbacks, and I have to tell myself, and Shawan knows this, when I get in, okay, I got to shake this off. I got to get back into the vortex. Because if I get out of the vortex, it's hard for me to get back in it. I'm a true believer. I've always loved Range Rovers. I'm a car girl, right? So if I see a car that's riding down the street and I really want it, I'll just say, I'm that car. And guess what? I'll have that car within 30 or 45 days when I want it. So I'm a true believer. I know how to get what I want. A lot of people sit around and they pray about, oh God, I want this and I want that. Well, if you're really not doing the work, because it takes work. If you are not doing the work that you need to do and I believe you got to stay happy. You have to detach. If we don't detach, and I want to ask you about this. If we don't detach from the things that we feel like we just have to have, or all the anxiousness that we really need. Oh God, I need to pay my mortgage. Oh God, I need to pay my light bill, whatever. Just detach from it and just say, you know what? My creator has to help me. What am I supposed to do? If the birds can make it, if the cows can do it,
that part,
won't he bless me to do it? He or she bless me to do it. You have to detach from those things. Once you detach from those things and believe with all your heart and your might and your soul, everything will follow. Just stop those old habits like, oh, well, God's going to provide. Well, you got to do something for God to provide. You just can't sit there and just say, oh, I hope that somebody come and drop $1 million, a briefcase of $1 million on my doorstep. And I'm just sitting there being a couch potato and I'm not doing anything. It doesn't work like that. It's a give and take. You breathe in.
Yes.
You breathe it in, you receive it, and then you give it away. That's the breathing in. Just breathe in and just release it and give it away. And we don't understand that psychology of life. And I think once we learn it, then that's good. So my question to you is, how do you feel about detachment, and how can you tell us more eloquently about detaching so that we can be able to receive?
I mean, Miss Cece, you said it eloquently yourself. I mean, you said it very eloquently. Yes. I mean, and so attachment, control, all of it is the same thing, because we want to control our outcomes so bad because we're so in fear. We're so afraid that a way is not going to be made. It's not going to happen, or we know we have to get it in the time we want it. All of those things where we have control over the end outcome. And we really do, like you said, Miss Cece, have to get to a place where we are releasing it and letting it go and really surrendering.
Yeah.
We have to surrender our timeline altogether. We got to. We have to. We have to, because if not, see, fear, when we hold on to that fear is a memory of pain. That's my definition. The memory of pain. So what's happening is, again, back to the subconscious level and subconscious programming. Somewhere on a subconscious level, your brain is remembering when something didn't happen for you, when it didn't work out for you, when you was let down, when you was hurt, when, right? So it holds on to that memory of pain. So when it comes down to us wanting to say, I'm praying for this, I'm going to have this, I want to do this, all these things that we have on our list of our desires, the mind is still kind of hanging on to the memory of when it didn't happen. So now we got that split energy. And so now it's like, you know what? We have to recognize that and be like, as I'm going to continue to show up every single day.
Yeah.
As the best version of me.
Yeah.
I can't worry. I can't be in fear. I can't be in disbelief. I can't be in doubt. I have spoken it out of my mouth. And the moment that I spoke it out of my mouth, I have to know that my word can't return unto me void. I've spoken what I wanted.
Right.
It's not bouncing off of the wall. When I spoke it out of my mouth, I know that I planted a seed into the ground.
Correct.
And now that this seed has been planted in the ground, just like a real seed is planted into the ground, what does it need to reap and to spring forth? It needs proper sunlight. It needs water. It's universal things that it needs for a seed to really sprout. So in our case, okay, this is what we got to trust in. We got to lean into this as part of letting it go and really surrendering. You got to know, I spoke it out of my mouth. This is a seed, and I put this thing into the ground. And what did this seed need? This seed needs belief. This seed needs actions matching up.
Yeah.
This seed needs trust. This seed, everything for it to continue to grow, and in due season, it's going to reap a harvest. It's going to reap a harvest. So I'm going to carry on in my life every single day, in my day-to-day, not really being so attached to this end goal. I'm going to live in the moment. I'm going to come back to present. I'm going to take this thing one step at a time. What am I doing in the present moment? How can I create joy and protect my peace in the present moment? And stop looking so far in the future and stop worrying so much ahead.
Just don't even worry about tomorrow. I agree with you. Don't even worry about tomorrow. Worry about right now, right. And then if we do that and we just detach from tomorrow, watch how tomorrow works out for us. And then you wonder, like, if nothing happens, right? Like if you're stressing over, I don't know, maybe you have a flat tire, you don't know how to change your flat, right? Because I don't. I'm just talking for me. So I'm just going to sit in the house and I may just go and do work or whatever. But guess what? My neighbor might come and knock on my door or something. I may ask my neighbor, hey, can you fix my tire? But yesterday I wasted all that time, energy. I created a sickness in my body worried about that flat tire when I wasn't going anywhere tonight anyway. I wasn't going anywhere till tomorrow. And then my neighbor, I could just say, hey, can you just change my tire? Or call AAA to come and change your tire.
Yeah.
You just like, we waste so much time worrying about things that we just should not even be worrying about. And you're right, control. Just let it go.
And you know, it's kind of like, it makes me think of like a little baby. When we're holding a newborn baby, that newborn baby isn't thinking, don't drop me.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that baby, that whether you a baby, 1-year-old, that baby isn't thinking, you made me a mistake and drop me. And then they're not even thinking that.
Yep.
The trust is just like, I mean, I'm being held. I'm being carried. I'm being carried through. And that's that level of trust. And see, that's what we got to take it back to that baby stage. But see, back to what I was saying earlier, you grow up, something happen. You live life, something happen. You go on your journey, something happen. And so the brain is remembering all these things. So then when we get into our older years, the brain is like, remember. We got to get back to that baby stage.
And I think creating a tribe, a girl tribe or a guy tribe, whatever kind of tribe, and just lift each other up with just being, I don't know, transparent, just peer. And if you're going through something, it is my job to tell you, hey, we could get through this together.
Absolutely.
So back in the day when we were going through those things, when we're remembering the fear now, is we had nobody to tell us, hey, Melanie, hey, Miss J, I got you. Let's do it together. Yeah. Let's talk this thing out. Let's try to plan this thing out. What can we do to conquer it together? If we really had tribes in our life, if we really chose the right people for our lives, I think this world would be so much better because we're rooting for each other. I called Miss J this morning. I said, you going to see Keon? Because I know that makes her happy. You're going to go do this and going to do that. I know that makes her happy. If we have more people in our lives to push us, and you know that if you're having a hard day, you know what? You don't even have to call me. I'm probably already praying for you to be better in the first place.
Already in the first place.
I don't have to tell you I'm praying for you. No, I don't need to tell you I'm praying for you. I don't know what all you need, but what I can do is pray for you in silence. God, whatever Miss J needs, whatever Melanie needs, please bring it to fruition today. So I don't need to call you to let you know that, because that's how friends and family should be doing with each other anyway.
Right.
But we never had that growing up. So what do? We just try to make it through to get through every day in life and not realizing, hey, we can have whatever we want.
I agree.
We could just manifest this, but I feel sorry for us, to be honest with you. I feel sorry for us. Now I'm getting it. You get what I'm saying? I always do it. But life made me forget a lot of the things that I could do for myself. And now when you're talking about, it's the fear that we had. Yeah. Oh, it's like fight or flight, right? It's like something happens. We go back to that same fear mechanism. Right? Instead of evolving like you did. And you said, am I going to just go back to being the old me, or I'm going to evolve?
Yes.
So when stuff happen in our life, don't go back to that fear. Don't even think about that fear. How did we make it? How am I going to get through it? Just figure out, how am I going to get through it? Don't worry about the past. And just call it. That's what I'm getting from you. So I love your message. I love the message.
And you're right. We need that girl tribe. We do. I mean, because, we come from a sweep it under the rug generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
People won't know. It was nobody talked about nothing. So that made us carry a lot of shame and judgments, that we sometimes carry when we need a space held for its authenticity and vulnerability and transparency.
Absolutely.
Because it's healing in that.
It is.
It's healing in that. So I agree, Miss Cece. You definitely need that tribe to say, hey, listen, I see what you're going through. I'm praying for you. I'm uplifting you, Yeah. Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
So let me ask, because like I said, when I met you, you were doing one thing. You were doing good with it too, with the My Girl Cosmetics. I didn't forget. And I know you moved on to Pretty Girls Pray. Then you did the podcast with you and your sister.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're doing digital marketing.
Mm-hmm.
How did you, and again, you definitely evolved, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what were some of the, I guess, steps
Okay.
or connectors to get
Mm-hmm.
you from one level to the next? I know we were talking
Mm-hmm.
in the before we went
Mm-hmm.
live,
Mm-hmm.
and one thing you said is so critical, that your network is your network.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure in each of these instances, you created a new network of people
Mm-hmm.
to gain information to get
Mm-hmm.
you from the next level to the
Mm-hmm.
next level.
Yes.
So
Yes.
with that too, did you incorporate like a lot of people talk about affirmations or journaling or things of that nature? Was that something also that you put into your your daily life, as as a
Oh
consistent?
gosh, I'm a big journaler.
Okay.
I write down every. So I'm a very well. I'm going to answer your question about how I connected dots too, but I'm a very big visualizer and journaler. Very, very big. And I'm trying to tell you, journaling and affirmations and visualize. Because see, when you visualize, you are using your imagination, and your imagination is God. And you are causing your imagination to cross over into fourth and fifth dimensions that I like to call the quantum field,
Mm-hmm.
where everything, all realities already exist in that field. And so it's like you are allowing yourself to tap into that, even if it's just for a moment, because it takes practice. But when you visualize, you're allowing yourself to tap into that creative power, because it's like your physical body is already experiencing it as it has already happened. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of visualization. I'm going to tell you this. I had the raggediest car. I mean, I had a Lexus. I mean, when I tell you this car, it needed a rotator cuff. The back windows was busting out. I had plastic bags on the back window. The car was so loud. My daughter was ashamed. First and foremost, let me tell you, the way that I never complained about this car and was extremely grateful for this car, I had a gratitude embodiment practice where I had to list out all of the reasons for why I'm grateful for this car.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this car because if I didn't have one,
Okay.
I can't get the A, I can't get the B, I can't get the C. I'm grateful for this car because if I didn't have this car, so I began to bless that car. Bless that car. My daughter was so embarrassed. I said, "Oh no." I began to bless that car, bless that car. I blessed that car, and I was so every time I got in the car, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think her name was Betsy. Yeah, thank you, Betsy. And I remember one time I had went because I'm a journaler. I had been journaling. I am going to have. I wanted a Mercedes-Benz truck. I journaled that, and so I always journal. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm in this truck. I wrote that. I don't know how many times I wrote it every single day. And when I wrote it, I used to I took the time to actually sit back and visualize what it actually looks like for me to be in this car, in the energy of this car. What does it smell like? What does it look like? How am I feeling? How's my hair? What do I have on? Am I driving fast? How am I, when I pull up to the gas station, how am I looking? I'm talking about go through a whole process, right? And so I remember one time I went to go get my hair braided, and my hairstylist said, "Oh," she was like, "My cousin just bought a brand new black Audi truck straight off the lot. It's brand new." And I was like, "Can I go see this car?" She was like, "Sure." I said, "Give me the keys." I got in this car because number one, I need to smell the leather because I need to get it into my consciousness.
Yeah.
Number two, I need to feel how smooth this leather is feeling. Number three, I need to see how black and smooth this leather is, how shiny it is in this car. I need to see these vacuum marks in this car. I need to see this new, and I mean, I got in that car and I consumed every fiber of that car into my energy. Like I just was like blessing it, blessing it, blessing it. And I lied to you not. 2 weeks later, my boss had no idea what I had written in my journal. I was about in the home buying process, which is another reason why I couldn't get no car. And 2 weeks later, she said, I'm coming to pick you up to take you furniture shopping for your new home. I said, okay. But then halfway to the furniture store, she put a blindfold on me and I was saying, you don't want me to see this furniture. But when they took the blindfold off of me, I was in the Mercedes-Benz dealership with a brand new car with a bow on it.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I believe it. I'm telling you, I know. And it feels so good, right?
Brand new car.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the mundane task of writing, the mundane task of speaking. It is the vibration of it. It's the energy of it. It's you feeling as if you've already have and living out that thing every single time.
I love that. I love it. You know, I'm a visualization person like you as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't go as far as smelling it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just, every time I see it, I say, I am that. Every single time I see it. And I'm like you. Like I tell you, it happens within 30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
Once you put your mind to something, it happens. When I did that, the last time I really did it was for my Range Rover. I said, I am that car. I am that car. Next thing I knew, I was going to the dealership. I was in the vortex. This is no BS, right? I called one of my good friends and I said, hey, I'm going to buy me a Range Rover. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy me a Range Rover today. Honey, I left work. I closed up that model home, went to the dealership. When I had a BMW electric car then, right? I told him I need to trade in this BMW electric car for that. They said, okay, Miss Smith. I got there the next day. Guess what? Just like you, no blindfold, but I had a big bow on my car, a big yellow bow sitting on my car. I wasn't even in the dealership 10 minutes, Melanie and Miss J. I did my stuff and I was out of there.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it like with I'm buying another house, thinking about buying another house, right? I already know what my house looks like. I see myself opening the door. I'm having double doors, open it up. I know I have a step up. I know where my kitchen is. I know where my friends are going to be sitting while I'm serving them drinks and all of that. I know how when I open my doors in the back, I smell the water. I smell my pool water. So I feel you say that you're visualizing and you got in that car and you smelled it. When as I'm talking to y'all right now, I can smell my pool water. I smell my pool water. I know where my pool house is. When you walk out my back door, it's to the right of my pool. I know everything. I know where my garage, I know everything. So when you say that, I hope that you are telling people that 24/7 visualization and journaling is the best thing. One more question I want to ask you. Question.
Sure.
How do you feel about Abraham Hicks, Bob Proctor, Louise A? Do you like really listen to them, or you don't really listen and get your teachings from them?
So my top 5 is Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza,
Okay,
Earl Nightingale. I have listened to Abraham so much that I know what she's going to say next. So I have graduated from Abraham because I can call it now. You know. And I was on Gabrielle Bernstein. I'm not Gabrielle. I think it was Bernstein as well. All law of attraction, all manifestation teachers. That's all I listen to. All
day long, right?
It's all it's constantly in my ears, in my spirit, in my energy. That I even listen to sleep affirmation tapes.
Oh, me too. That's all I go to sleep to.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's it. That's all I go to sleep to every night because it stays in me. Because I hear what you say. You have to believe. If you don't feel it in your bones, if you don't feel it in your soul, you can forget about it. Last question, I promise, Miss J. What do you feel about tapping? How do you feel about tapping?
I EFT tap every single day.
Girl, you better get on out of here.
On my meridian points. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You know why? Because the reason why is because like I'm in a transitional point in my life right now. I'm in a spot where I've literally never been in before. full-time entrepreneurship. When I got fired from my job, that's a whole nother story for another time.
Mm-hmm.
But wrongfully terminated from my 6-figure job in July. So I've been on a journey of just pure entrepreneurship. And it's not easy, and so I've been having to pull out all my tools and resources, and sometimes we can be distracted by the 3D, by what we see.
Yeah.
And in order for me, and then what happens? You have a knee-jerk reaction, like Abraham said, okay? And we'll allow ourselves to get into an energetic state of turmoil if we focusing too much on what's not happening in the external world.
Mm-hmm.
So that tapping really helps because it allows me to have new energetic responses and reactions to what I see.
So it's that's just why detaching, right? Like she said, we got to detach.
Yeah,
we got to detach from it all.
Yes. So all the time, all that, and then and I feel calmer and better afterwards. And I do a lot of breath work. I have to breathe.
Yes.
I set my alarm for 3 times during the day to just to breathe. You know why? Because we be on autopilot.
Yeah.
We got to come back to center. We got to come back to present. So 3 times a day, my alarm is going off so I can breathe. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out.
That's what I do. I just say all the time, I'm breathing in love. I'm giving out love. I'm breathing in all the love, and I'm just blowing it back out. And I do that too. I don't do it. I probably do it 3 and 4 times a day. I probably do it more. So a lot of times I'll stop in my kitchen and I'll just listen to my refrigerator run. I just say, okay, I don't care. I'm just getting in the present. I'm just going to listen to my refrigerator. I'm just going to turn on the water and I'm just going to listen to the water run. So I'm like you too. And I love EFT tapping because it gets me back. And people don't understand EFT tapping it's instant.
It's instant.
It is.
If people would just really get into that, it helps you if you're going through a breakup, financial things. Once you finish EFT tapping, you got to do it 3 or 4 times. And once you do it, it is an instant feeling on once you're done with that. So I do. Thank you for that because I love that.
No problem. Yeah. No problem at all.
I'm going to take another quick commercial break. This conversation is getting really, really good, and we're really diving deep into this. So I don't want to miss a beat. So.
Living the moment, catching the vibes, conversations with CC. Inspiring people, breaking the boundaries, showing the simple. If you did a dream big, if you did a dream big, I just want to teach you, making your lives amazing. Conversations with CC.
Conversations with CC. All right.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I got one more. I forgot.
Okay.
Firebrand Studios 801 presents self-awareness, healing, coping, breakthrough, taking back your God-given power. Slayer's Redemption Chronicles personified from bondage to breakthrough. Hosted by Prolific Ted, where we come to heal or die trying. Get ready. We're coming to you live. Join us April 24th at 7 p.m. Central. Find us on our social media page.
All right, ladies. And let me just make a quick notation to those who are watching or those watching the replay. That last podcast show is actually going to air on this coming Wednesday, May the 5th at 7 p.m. So my apologies to Slayer's Redemption for not making that correction on the show, but I just wanted to point that out as well. And also for anyone that may be interested in marketing or building their business in a visual way, please contact twinforceproductions@gmail.com with any of your ideas. I am the actual video creator of a lot of these commercials and trailers that you see, and I am able to help you to bring your vision to life. So just let me know, and we can definitely assist you in that area as well. So now getting back to the show, because before we end everything, I definitely want to have people to see you in action at one of your conferences that you spoken at, just giving a mantra for women to, or men to basically implement so that they can also bring forth the manifestations that they're seeking or visualizing on their day-to-day basis. So that's something that I think is really going to be critical as well, for people to be able to, just bring forth the abundance in which they're looking for. But I do have another question, because I'm nosy too. I got another question. Now, because I know you, you know what I mean? And I have even followed you in your progression. And I'm going to tell you, I'm loving how you are living life, right? Just to see you from where you were and to see you now, it's like, God dang, like, really? So, but to know that you have now come to a place where not only are you, exemplifying, or you're being a better mother, you're also encouraging other people. So what you got going on over there?
I'm cutting it off. I'm sorry.
You've become a better mother.
Yes.
You're loving yourself more. I mean, just looking at you, I can tell that you're loving yourself more. Taking care of your body, your health. It's just so much that I see. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I know you from when, and it's been a while. Like I would say at least 5 to maybe 7 years.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to kind of touch on something too, because I don't really talk about it out loud all the time. But one thing that I've noticed, even for me, and we've kind of touched on this in this conversation, manifesting or even visualizing yourself in a different way and detaching from those things that are either negative in your life or they're no longer serving you. The more you dwell on those things, as CC stated, they do form toxicity in the
They do.
right? And it you would never even think that's what it is. When I met you, I worked at the post office, right? But I was stressed. Oh my God, I was stressed. My customers never knew that, because I was always pleasant and
always smiling,
joyful, and I started learning people's names. Or when you come in the door, I'm like, "Hey, Melanie," or, "Hey, this so and so." Hey, this so So I wanted you all to feel like it was your neighborhood post office, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like in that area, I achieved that goal. But in other areas, I was really lacking. And within a matter of months, my whole entire body deteriorated. As soon as I turned 40, it was like 2 days later. No, matter of fact, a week later, everything just broke down. And within 3 months, I was diagnosed with lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, all from stress. Dwelling on, as you were saying, not having the money for the bill, wondering where you're gonna get it from. Your car messed up. How you gonna get it? How you gonna get it fixed? The kids needing something and you don't have it this week. Just those little things. And the more you dwell on those things, the more it just compounds in your body.
Yes,
right?
it does.
And I mean, unfortunately for me, it progressed even more because I didn't know how to cut it off. Like, you know, I was just in that cycle of survival mode. I didn't know how to cut that off. So it progressed to cancer, you know. And I just feel like for me, being in a place where you may not be here anymore, it was a wake up. That was a big wake up call for me, you know. And it made me realize the things that I have been stressing or the things that I put too much emphasis on, those are the things that were going to take me out.
Yeah.
So I had to think about, you know what I mean? I had to start thinking about the other things, the good things. Well, what are you grateful for when you wake up every day? Yeah, you wondering how you're going to get this bill paid. But in the meantime, you still got your water. You still got your light.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You still have transportation. You still have all of these things. So be grateful and express that gratitude for those things in the midst of your trial.
Yes.
Even in the midst of your, you know, your struggle. So, I mean, just hearing everything that you've inputted so far, it basically just kind of piggybacks on that. You know, the more we focus on the things that are going to best serve us and even visualize down to the detail. One thing about God, he's very specific.
Yes.
So you got to be specific as well. So if, as Cece said, if there's a home that you want, you need to visualize exactly how that home looks. From the doorknobs, the handles, to the kitchen, to the pool smell. So, you know, where things are situated in the house. Visualize that. From your car, smelling the leather, knowing what it feels like, the energy of sitting in the vehicle, what the steering wheel feels like in your hand. You know, those things. The more we focus on those things, the more it actually comes into play. But I have a question too, because I have heard people say that they've done all of these things, right? They have visualized themselves, you know, having this money or having this abundant life. But yet at the same time, I just feel like, and this is me, I just feel like sometimes the more you focus on that, but you're not doing anything, you're still delaying that from coming. You're delaying. It's like you set a stopper to it.
It's a blockage, definitely.
Correct.
Because number one, there's still a subconscious attachment that you have to it. And number two, you so focused on manifesting that you focusing more so on what you don't have.
That's good.
You see
still the lack, right? Still the lack.
So you're still, like she said, you're still in a scarcity energy.
That's
and sometimes people do. They say I've done all of the things, and it's like it becomes so techniquey to them when this is not a technique. It becomes who we are naturally. We're in alignment with it, you know, naturally. It becomes us. And so when it goes all the way back to that detachment thing, there's still an attachment issue there. It still is. And you still think you are without something. And the longer that you think that you are without, it's like that scarcity thing is still snarling within you. Because you still think that you're without it when you already have it.
Right. So basically is the key, I guess you could say, the starting point or ground level is to basically work on changing the scarcity mindset. Because really all of this really just it boils down to changing your mindset. If you continue to think, if you continue to have the stinking thinking that you've always had, then that's
I like that. Thinking.
If you know, you're gonna continue to have all that you have.
Yes.
You know? But as you change that, as you evolve, you know what I mean, you get all of the blessings that come with that.
Yeah.
But you gotta make room for it.
You gotta make room for it.
You know.
You gotta make room for it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna show this quick clip as well. Your mantra. And you know, See, I'm gonna make sure I send it to you because I already know you're gonna want it when you see it.
I am committed. To my evolution. Embracing growth. With each step forward. I honor my journey. Embracing the challenges. As opportunity. And transformation. I transcend limitation. And step into the boundless potential. Of my very being. Every day. I strive to become. The best version of myself. Aligning with my true purpose. And my potential. I am evolving. I am thriving. I am unstoppable. She wins. Is my battle cry. And my testament to courage. And my anthem to victory. Let's go, sweetheart.
I'm done, Melody. Melanie. I got chills. They're multiplying, and I'm definitely losing control. I love it, Mel. Girl, you better stop. I got chills. I ain't lying. I got chills. Okay.
Thank you.
That's my battle cry.
Yes. My battle cry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna kind of end it on this note because I went to service today, and it was just so good, so good. But he said something that really like pricked my spirit on today, and I really feel like it has a lot to do with the show. The title of the sermon today was see now I'm messing up. I'm messing up because I forgot the title. But basically it was talking about being in your moment or creating your moment in life, right? But he went into detail about a thorn and how when you see a thorn on roses or on certain flowers, basically thorns are underdeveloped branches, right? He said that, you know, they have they just don't have the full capacity to stretch out the way God wants them to, right? And he asked the question, how long are you going to continue to be a thorn when God is trying to make you a branch? This is the same thing that we have to implement even with this. How long are we going to continue to have the stagnant procrastination, stinking thinking that we have?
And it goes back to that
low vibrational thinking. Instead of allowing God to get us to the level of abundance in which we truly desire, that he wants us to have. He wants to freely give it to us. But we got to reach out for it.
Yeah. And, it goes right back to that. You either repeat or evolve. And there's a lot of repeating going on. And so with the repeating, that branch, that thorn, you're manifesting thorns. But when you continue to choose to evolve over and over and over and over again with every opportunity, then that branch grows.
Amen.
Such a great show. I mean, I love it. I love it. Everything that you have said has made me feel like I'm not so corny about doing the stuff I do. Because I don't let a lot of people know, what I do because people think it's corny. Mirror work and all of that. I remember when I first started the mirror work, started affirmations and things like that. People thought it was kind of corny. People judge you. Oh, she's so weird or she's so different. So I just try to keep everything myself. And I just, me and Miss J talk about it. And I have the few people that I talk about it with, but I don't talk about it all the time. I'm just this happy-go-lucky person and people wondering what you do. I just manifest. If you get down with this corn girl, then you can do what I do.
Yeah.
So thank you.
People think it's woo-woo. That's what they call it. They think it's
woo-woo.
Yeah, they think it's woo woo, and they think that we're weird because they think that we are taking the credit from God by saying that we're manifesting when they don't have the true awareness that we are God in the flesh. God is
Correct.
we are God in the flesh.
Five, they don't
Yes,
know that.
yes.
They don't know that, so that's another reason why people continuously repeat the same experiences over and over again because they're constantly waiting for something outside of them to come and do something for them.
That's a whole
When it's
nother
where? In us
When it's
already.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, and a lot of people don't understand that.
That's true.
So just because I say universe don't mean I don't believe in God. That doesn't
Because he encompasses everything.
everything.
The universe, that's where the creation came.
That's it.
We're all in one. We're all one. And if people believe we're all one, this world would be better. I wouldn't be treating you ugly. I wouldn't be trying to mess around with your man behind your back.
Yeah.
If I knew we were all one.
Mhm.
If I knew that it's going to come back to me, that karma's going to come back to me.
Yes.
You know, Lil Wayne has that song, and it's a bad rap song. And it says, karma is a bitch, so you better treat that bitch beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
If people realize
Mhm.
the way I treat you, I
It's
better
not-
treat you right. Because when it comes back to me, it's not going to feel good at all.
That's right.
That part.
So I love when you ran into that third person that was in a relationship. You stood high because guess what? It made you seem like you were this classy chick that was not going to even go there. You're not even worth me to go there. Because guess what? You're not going to do that to the next woman. So you don't have to worry about karma coming to you no kind of way.
Correct.
And so that's how I believe. Watch the way you treat people and watch how good things will come. But keep on treating people messed up and watch how that comes too. And that's and I love your story. I love it.
And that third party loves me. There's another woman. I mean, to this day, she would call and check on me. Hey girl, how you doing? Because it's how I show up. It was the pure vibration of love that I extended out. And it was so powerful that she could only see me in love. Because that is what I gave out in all of its pureness.
Wow.
I love it.
And I mean, to this day, just checking in. Hadn't heard from you in like 2 weeks. Yes.
Is she married to your ex?
So she was side chick.
She sounds.
It was not fiance, okay, but she was the girlfriend's side chick girlfriend, but it was not fiance.
Wow.
So are they together still today?
No. They not. They not. But she absolutely loves me. But they have a child together now to this day. Yeah.
Thank God for that.
She
Just keep, look, that's a testament for me, Miss J, everybody. No matter what people do to you, you still evolve, you show up in that classy way, and you just watch how things evolve.
Yeah. You know.
That is so true.
Love your story. Love it.
So, Melanie, let the viewers know how they can reach you, whatever products or services that you may offer.
Sure.
I would love for them all to know so that they can reach out to you as well.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, going back to your point, Ms. J, because I did used to do the lipstick. Now I'm bringing the lipstick back. I'm bringing the lipstick back. But I have done a lot of different things. But what I have come to the realization of is that anytime I am flowing in creativity and inspiration, my abundance is attached to that.
Yes. Yes.
But when I'm doing things that I don't really like, I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
It's blockages. So that making that lipstick was allowing me to get in my full creative power and that full creative space. You know, and I have a calling on my life to build community. So I start ventures that creates the space for me able to build a tribe and community, because that's where I thrive at, you know. So now what I'm doing, I mean, so Pretty Girls Pray came about because I mean, I grew up in church, like I said, was a full prayer warrior. But I changed the game of Pretty Girls Pray because I was trying to teach the women, stop pleading and begging. Stop praying in your unworthiness. Okay, you got to reshift the way you are, because from one thing, everything is a prayer anyway. Correct. Even the conversations in your head. And so I started this wave where I'm reshifting the way people are praying. It's more appreciative prayers, more prayers of gratitude, more prayers of praying from a space of I already have this. I know who I am. I'm not. Tasha Cobbs got this song, because it's certain Christian music I stopped listening to because, Tasha Cobbs got this song, Fill Me Up, Fill Me Up, Fill Me Up. I'm not empty. I'm so full of God. I'm so full of power. I'm overflowing. I'm not empty. People have to watch what they're saying a lot of the time. So now I am doing the, I'm digital products. I'm creating so basically in a nutshell, okay, I can be found on Instagram, okay, Melanie Wade, MELANIE, Wade, WAD _. Okay. And I have a digital product business where I resell already created, done for you digital products for 100% profit. And I'm teaching others how they can do the same. It's called MRR. MRR stands for Master Reseller Rights. So basically the products are already created. You can just put your own colors and beautiful branding and stuff on it, and you resell it for 100% profit.
I love that.
Start off with beginners, 2, 3, 4, 5K months in that sector. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing now is digital products. But I do have a breakthrough program too, the 21-day transformational program that I'm always going to do that. So yeah, I do that as well. Yeah.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Thank you. I'm going to look you up and follow you so I can stay connected.
Yes, please do. And I'm going to follow you back, Miss Cece. I really enjoyed you guys today. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, no, you are so welcome. It is definitely an honor and a privilege to have you here. Caught you while you're still, in one particular spot, because you always on the go somewhere. So I'm glad I was able to catch you. And this will not be the last time you come back.
No. Yeah, not the last time.
We're going to have you back on.
Yes.
Because we're going to have to touch into that whole conversation about how people are looking outside of themselves for God.
Yes.
Already within us. So, yeah, we're going to definitely tap back into that.
Okay. No problem.
But with that being said, thank you to everyone who has watched this evening and those watching the replay. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Find us on our social media page. Special thanks to this week's sponsors.
Tune in for our next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you won't miss out on any future episodes.